Hold up.
I hope you're having a great day and I hope you're staying safe at home. Today I want to talk about diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and how it is possible to reverse type 2 diabetes. Firstly, I want to apologize for being 2 minutes late. I had a patient that I had to finish with. But yeah, like I said, we're going to talk about the reversal of type 2 diabetes because type 2 diabetes has become a global killer, killing several people across the world in millions and millions. And if it's not killing you, it's leading to so many secondary conditions like nerve damage, blindness in eyes, amputations of legs, damage to the heart, damage to the kidney. That's what diabetes does. That's what uncontrolled diabetes does to you. While there are a lot of people who say proudly that, oh, type 2 diabetes can never be reversed, well, that's your problem then. If you don't believe it can be done, you should know there are millions of people across the world right now who had type 2 diabetes with HbA1cs of 10 and 11 and 12, and today they are absolutely free. So never let your mind keep you in a prison. Your own mind and your mindset can be the biggest prison you ever live in. So instead of talking with insufficient knowledge and insufficient experience, keep an open mind. Okay, if you think you want to live with your diabetes and be on medication for the rest of your life, that's absolutely your choice. Then you should have a good explanation for thousands and millions of people who no longer have type 2 diabetes. Well, today we're going to talk about what you can do to reverse your type 2 diabetes. Understand that everyone is different. While some people have diabetes and high blood cholesterol levels, high triglycerides, and other conditions, it may take a little bit longer. You may have to put in a little more effort. There are several lifestyle habits that you may have to give up and change, but it doesn't change the fact that type 2 diabetes cannot be reversed. In fact, most people who say that type 2 diabetes can never be reversed is because they've never done enough. They've not done enough, or they're not willing to give up on habits, on bad habits, or make the change. So they prefer the easy way out of saying that it can never be reversed because they've not tried hard enough. Don't be that person. Because I can tell you the easiest thing today is for a doctor to give you medication for your blood sugar levels. And that's the right thing to do because you shouldn't have high blood sugar levels at any given point. Every time your blood sugar levels are out of control, they're damaging the endothelial linings of your blood vessels in your heart, in your kidney, everywhere. And that's why I said diabetes leads to future problems of damaging your eyes, causing blindness, amputations of body parts, damage to the kidney, and then you have other conditions. If you have diabetes and you have high blood pressure, it's a deadly combination. I don't mean to scare you, but your body is clearly telling you, do something, change your lifestyle. Because if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure and diabetes, the next thing is you're going to become a CKD patient. That's chronic kidney disease. It is going to reach there. So we need to understand there are so many people who are so dependent only on medication, and that is absolutely wrong. I am telling you that medication is necessary, but it's never forever. Very, very few people need medication for a lifetime. For everyone else, you're so dependent on the medication, it makes your lab reports look good, that you don't understand that the medication is only suppressing your symptom. You are still diabetic. As long as you're in medication, you are still diabetic. Because what if you stop the pill? Your blood sugar levels go up, you have diabetes again. So you need to understand, it is very, very important for you to make lifestyle changes. Today I'm going to talk about the things that you can do to start reversing your diabetes. And it's up to you. It's up to the effort, the discipline, the consistency that you put in. Firstly, I want you to understand how type 2 diabetes works. And when you understand this, you will know how your poor nutritional habits, your lack of exercise, your sleep deprivation is actually making your diabetes worse. And it's very easy for the doctor to put you on the second medication, the third medication, or increase your dosage. And that's fine, I don't have a problem. But you're not getting better. How can you work with your doctors to reduce your medication and eventually get you off medication because you're making lifestyle changes? So number one, insulin. Insulin isn't a bad thing. Whenever you eat anything, whatever you eat will cause a spike in your blood sugar levels. Some foods cause a higher spike in your blood sugar levels. The moment that happens, your pancreas will produce insulin. Insulin takes the high blood sugar or the blood glucose which is risen in your blood levels. Okay, insulin knocks at your cell dose, the cell dose open, okay, and insulin pushes that blood glucose, the glucose from your blood into the cells. So after your meal, your blood sugar levels come down beautifully. That's a perfectly working body. Now the problem is when your blood sugar levels go up, and you have less insulin, or you're insulin resistant. If you have less insulin, insulin can't do its job of pushing the glucose into your blood cells. On the second thing, if you're insulin resistant, insulin is constantly knocking at your cell doors, but your cell doors don't open. That's what insulin insensitivity is, or insulin resistance. So that's a problem. Now, understand something more about insulin. When we're talking about type 2 diabetes, okay, we're not talking about type 1 diabetes today where you have the inability to produce insulin. We're talking about type 2 diabetes. So when you start off with medication on type 2 diabetes and after a while you're put onto insulin, you know your diabetes is going out of control. So the first thing that you need to do is understand when insulin levels are constantly high, you're automatically tiring the cells that produce insulin. You will start to produce insulin lesser and lesser, which is why it is so important to manage your nutrition. Now, a lot of people with diabetes also suffer with weight gain in their abdominal area, their side areas, and different parts in the body. And people struggle to lose that weight. You need to understand today a secret about fat loss that no one tells you. Okay? You cannot punish the weight of your body. You cannot starve the weight of your body. It is all in the magic of insulin. When your insulin levels are low, at a healthy level, they are like keys. They open your fat cells, and now you can metabolize fat. It doesn't matter how many squats you've done. It is all a factor of how low you can keep your insulin levels, which diabetics find very difficult to do. So the key is, how do you maintain low levels of insulin? When you're able to maintain low levels of insulin, your diabetes starts to get better. And eventually, your cells, inflammation in your cells reduce, and eventually you put your type 2 diabetes into remission. It's as simple as that. You reverse your type 2 diabetes. Now I'm going to talk about things that you should be Googling and things that you should be learning. As most of you have a lot of time to spend on social media, I need you to go and download a glycemic index chart of all the fruits and all the foods that have a high GI level. Those are the kind of foods that cause spikes in your blood sugar levels very, very high. And that leads to diabetes, or that leads to diabetes out of control, fat gain, and because you're eating these foods which have a high GI, you constantly maintain a high insulin level. What happens when you maintain a high insulin level? After a while, you become resistant, your cells can't produce too much of insulin, and guess what? You never burn fat. You never burn fat when insulin levels are high. What else keeps your insulin levels high? When you're overeating, you're eating too much, you're eating all the time, you're snacking all the time, you're constantly eating, you're eating late night meals, heavy. Your heaviest meal is at night. These are sure signs that you're going to have out of control blood sugar levels. And those are some of the changes that you need to make. Now, some diabetics live with this misconception that they need to eat all the time. Absolutely not. Now, if your sugar levels are out of control, you may have to do that until you start lowering your blood sugar levels. But most people put their diabetes into remission if they do it the right way, without going hypo, by actually keeping 3 to 4 hours of gap between their meals. So you eat a meal, your blood sugar levels rise, they settle down over 2 to 3 to 4 hours. You've hardly settled down your blood sugar levels, and you've eaten your next snack, and you've eaten your next meal. How can you ever get better? And that's when you have to stay on medication for a lifetime, because you're never getting better, you're never healing, you're never recovering. So with close supervision and care, you need to start keeping gaps between your meals, not dangerously long gaps where you become highly acidic or you become hypo. You need to do it. It's different for everyone. Most of our patients have reversed their type 2 diabetes by slowing down their eating, by keeping longer gaps, by doing gentle fasts of 10 hours, and then 11 hours, and then 12 hours. Some of them go to 14, 15, 16. In a month or 2 or 3 months, their HbA1c is down from 11 to probably even 6, and then 5, and they're no longer diabetic. They're not even pre-diabetic. That's one way of doing it. Late night meals is a sure prescription to fat gain, diabetes, insulin resistance, and all of these things. Diabetes doesn't have to come first. You could be insulin resistant for many years and then you get diabetic. Okay, so it's so important for you to check your levels. Eat protein. Okay, every meal should have a decent amount of protein. Cut down your carbohydrates. It is carbohydrates that maintains your high insulin levels. I'm not telling you to go low carb or no carb. I'm telling you to go smart carb. When you look at your plate, you should have more veggies, you should have more protein, and you should have lesser carbs. So you're not feeling hungry, you're not starving yourself, but you should have lesser carbs and more vegetables, more complex carbs, and you should have more protein on your plate, period. Your plate has to look like that, and your plate has to look like a rainbow. Why a rainbow? When you eat a rainbow of different colors, you also populate your microbiome. Your microbiome, which is your gut, plays an important role in insulin resistance and your blood sugar levels. So you see, that's what makes your medicine only, while it's great, at a symptomatic level. A medicine revolves around high blood sugar levels and low blood sugar levels. It doesn't take into consideration your gut, your microbiome, and everything else that is required to reverse your type 2 diabetes. So your plate should look like a rainbow. Portion control. If you're looking at your phone all the time, watching television all the time, all of that stuff, you have a problem. You have a huge problem of overeating. So stop eating all the time. Okay, you should have spices. There are spices like cinnamon, cloves, all of these things, natural foods that help you with keeping your blood sugar levels in control, but it doesn't mean it'll reverse it. To reverse it, you need to do everything else. Fasting, a beautiful exercise. Start with 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, fast from sunset to sunrise. I can guarantee you your blood sugar levels are going to get better. Exercise. If you're sedentary, you cannot reverse your type 2 diabetes. Start off with yoga, light walks after every meal. A diabetic, walk for 10 minutes after every meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and watch your blood sugar levels start to fall. Sleep. If you're sleep deprived, your blood sugar levels are going to be all over the place. Nothing more to say on that. It's as simple as that. So if you want to reverse your type 2 diabetes, improve your sleep. And of course, stress. We all know today chronic stress increases your blood sugar levels. As simple as that. So yes, you can reverse your your type 2 diabetes. Number one, regular checkups. Number two, never stop your medication without your doctor in the loop. Change your lifestyle. Okay? It's not because Luke's telling you to do it. It's because I'm telling you there are millions of people, some of you I can see your names, on this Facebook Live who have reversed their type 2 diabetes, making lifestyle changes while on medication, and after a while they go to their doctors and the doctors say, hey, you no longer need medication. You are free of type 2 diabetes. The choice is yours. You have a choice or you have an excuse. You have the right attitude, everything is possible. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care is all about you.